I've been thinking about some risks that I want to take. They ain't really risk. They just like shit that I'm thinking about doing. I've been having a lot of energy. It been some weird ass dreams, and it's not just me. Like my daughter had a really interesting dream. Um, and I told some of it. In her dream, it was an alien visited her. Now, I remind you, I have to tell you that it's a lot of stuff that I don't talk to my daughter about because I don't want her to be like fearful and stuff. But we don't really talk about aliens and stuff like that, or that's not something that she's too much into. But she had this dream, and it's not the first dream. She had a dream. You know what? See, I just been remembering just a lot of shit. Some of it makes me feel like, damn, that's fucked up. Cause when I was like heavily on a spiritual attack, like I felt it, but you know I didn't want to believe it because, you know, nobody who did it could give like a really good solid reason of doing it besides they was agitated because I was being me. Besides that, but there was a time some months ago, like you could go back on my podcast, and I was sad around this time. That's why that one motherfucker, like the only time I get mad is when I think about shit he said to me. Like he told me I was his person. But you know, all this time he watched me. Like he watched me when my family was doing this shit. We wasn't even talking at the time, but he seen it. Like he watched me shed so many tears and did not give a fuck any of those times. Matter of fact, you know, causing more fucked up shit on top of that. Like I'm already going through fucked up shit. Damn, here go that weird ass window with the. This is a weird motherfucking house right here. Cause now they living room dark, but they bedroom got light in it, and it's like this big old black bowl in the window. Now this window, I've seen it a few times, cause sometimes the light be on, and the person will have all the blinds open, and they have this one cross in the window, and you can't see nothing else behind it. It's on the 3rd floor. Now it was actually my homegirl. We was walking out here, and she was like, "That's a weird ass house right there." And I was like, "Yeah, you notice it too?" Cause when I first seen it, it's a weird ass house. It's a weird ass house. But yeah, on top of that, causing me more pain, bitch. Like when I think about it and stuff, there wasn't no time that he was actually compassionate or empathetic towards me. And to be real, you know, I had somebody come and ask me like, what if this person was manipulated against you? What if this person, you know, there's like more details to the story and shit like that. I don't even know why people even ask me these type of questions when it comes to the, because you know, his motherfucker sister asked me, do I feel like I could live without him? That's such a strange thing to ask somebody, especially a motherfucker Aquarius. Especially a motherfucker Aquarius. That question alone just made me want to be like, what the fuck do you mean? Can I live without them? Like, what you mean? Mm-mm-mm. That's like the only time I get mad. And when I think about him and think about bullshit that he said, bullshit, like just straight bullshit. You know, he's such a good fucking talker that, I don't know. I don't even know, child. But yeah, they was asking me this, and I'm like, well, mm. Alright, if I was to be real, I think I would understand. You know, I feel like I would understand because, damn, that's some deep shit right there. That is some deep shit right there. Hell, motherfucking no. Damn, it's a overcast on the moon. Like, a part of me, like, understand because I felt like there was a time that I was in that position within our connection, you know? Actually, let me just sit here and just give myself time to think, because, you know, I haven't really allowed myself to really think about it or feel about it, except for, like, anger, frustrations, you know, when I think about that motherfucker. But when I really look back at everything, I could kind of understand, you know. You know, okay, so there was a time that I left. Damn, bitch, what the fuck is going on? We about to have a full moon, and I could feel every bit of that bitch. Now, okay, in the beginning, when I first met them, I was different. I felt like I was hella different. Sometimes I feel like that time is kind of like a blur to me, to be honest with you. Like, it really is. Damn, bitch, hold the fuck up. Like, what the fuck happened in that time? Okay, so I was talking to them for a minute, and then I started to get distant. The reason I started to get distant is because I started to experience certain shit in my family. This is when my cousin was backstabbing me, and I could only feel the energy. I didn't know what was going on and everything, and I was like in the dark, and I was confused about it. I was also different in the mindset of I was more political then. I feel like I was more militant in a lot of ways. Actually, when I think about that time and our conversations, in a lot of ways, he was more open-minded than I was at that time. So I started to get distant. One of the reasons was because of that family shit, but the other reason is because of, you know, I was like, you know, where the fuck is this going? Because at the time, I wasn't thinking about separating from my husband. I wasn't satisfied in the relationship, but I felt like, you know, it's something that could be easily worked on. It wasn't like a big deal. But it was a big deal. It was definitely a big deal. I just couldn't see it at the time. Yeah, I was hella fucking different. To when I sit here and I think about it, I was hella different then. Yeah, I was into a lot of things. I was still the nerd that I am now. I was still very spiritual. Like, I opened him up to a lot of spiritual shit. I felt like he opened me up to like a lot of social things, social dynamics. Nah, at the time when we first met, cause I'm Aquarius and he a Leo. It's just like we just been clashing all the fucking time. I felt like it was just our point of view and us being fixated on how we see the world. So that would cause conflict. And then me not knowing what I was going to do in my situation, I was like, you know what? I should just cut this off because it's the right thing to do. And yada, yada, yada. So I did. So, and I went like for maybe like a whole 5 months. Like, I just try to act like that shit didn't even happen. Like, I was distracting it and everything. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here and let that be, you know. So, to be real, I wasn't planning on never talking to this person again. I felt like it was just something. Now, I did care about his feelings. I feel like he felt like I didn't. But that was my whole reason of doing it. Well, not my whole reason, but it was part of the reason because I felt like the situation was unfair for him too. So, and I felt like with his current situation, he was put in, like, it's like we was able to trade spots. He was able to be in my shoes and I was able to be in his shoes. So like when I look at it, like everything make fucking sense. It's not that I ever regret the situation. It's just that there was a time that I felt like I was trying to reach him, but I couldn't. But I'm realizing that there was a time that I felt like he was trying to reach me and he couldn't. damn, honestly, like, kind of talking about this situation, I don't even want to be mad at them anymore. Like, I feel like we different. Like, I was thinking, like, I had met the light side of my zodiac signs. Like, I'm a Scorpio moon, and I had met this Taurus moon, and he a Leo, and I'm a Aquarius. The Aquarius is like the darker side of that aspect. And one day I came out, and I seen this Leo and this Aquarius dude. They was up there getting into an argument about clothes. The Aquarius dude was like, man, I dress better than you. I got on all this name brand and shit. The Leo dude was like, man, I could go get something cheap from Walmart and still dress better than you. It ain't about the name brand. The Leo was wearing white clothes. The Aquarius was wearing black. I wish I had this on recording. Like, I have a bit of it on recording, because I was walking outside when I walked into this argument. And then in the recording, you hear me ask them, like, what's your zodiac sign? Like, I already knew there was an Aquarius and a Leo. I ain't know how I fucking knew, but I fucking know. Like, for some reason, when I see Leos, I could fucking tell they a Leo. I swear to God, like, Leos walk around here, like, with a light on them or something. Like, I could see them, and I could tell that they a Leo. So that was really interesting. So, but when it comes to me, I'm very outspoken. I lay all my cards out on the table and shit like that. And but he ain't the same. Actually, I do think that he's the same, but he wasn't that way with me, and I think it's because of like other factors. Well, he wasn't that way with me towards the ending, but to be real, I don't think he was even in the beginning. It's something about him that I feel like he got major trust issues. So he give people a little bit at the time. Maybe that all that he has to give inside of him, maybe he feel like that's too much for some people. So they hide it until they feel like it's safe enough to expose that. But it's probably some Leo shit like loyalty, love or something. I know Leos. My mom a Leo. They got big hearts, but they could be evil as fuck, man. Like, when it comes to gossip, but even like with my mom in this current situation, because I'm like mad at all Leos right now. Like, what the fuck? Like, with my mom, out of that whole situation, my mom is like the one part of it that I'm like kind of holding on to, because even though in my upbringing, my mom, she put me through a lot. At the end of the day, I could still tell that she was loyal to me and that she loved me. But I could sit here and tell stories about me and my mom, and people would take that and think all kinds of shit. But I know the story. Like, when I was in my teens, I was really angry at my mom because she left. She left when I was like around 12 because her drug habit was really bad. My dad, he just couldn't take no more because it was an incident. All the rent money got spent. It put us in a bad situation, and we had just went through that. We went through living in a hotel and being evicted because, you know, bullshit, you know. So when you living with an addict, like that drug, man, it have a hold on them like no other. So when you living with an addict, you constantly on guard. You can't leave money around. You can't leave anything valuable around. You come back, it's going to be gone. So, yeah, there was a lot of situations. But that last one, before my dad bought her a ticket to go back to Oklahoma, like I stood by her for a long time, for years. When shit would happen, I would beg my dad not to leave. And he wouldn't. But that last situation, I understood. I was like, and she looked at me too like I was going to take up for her again. I ain't do it. I just sat down and looked at her. So she left when I was around it had to be like 13 maybe. And then she came back when I was 16 going on 17. Because she came back when I got pregnant with my daughter. All of this is so funny because it's like cycles and shit like that. So when she first came back, we would fight all the time. The reason we was fighting is because she walked up in this situation like she knew me. And I really felt like, wait a minute, you been gone for a minute. Like, you don't know who I am now. So you need to stop. Because she came in and was like, if I was here, you would have never got pregnant. If I was here, this and that would have happened. And I'm up here thinking like, nah, if you was here, I would just found another way to do whatever the fuck that I was doing if you was here. So when she came in, like she was trying to be like telling me what to do and shit like that, and we just bumped heads. We just bump heads all the fucking time. But it was this one time that I was like, you know what? Because, dealing with my mom, her being a fit sign, and fire signs in general, they stubborn as fuck. Like, I knew that it wouldn't be changed unless I changed. I learned that with one situation. We got into a fight. It was pretty bad. She jumped on me and all this other shit. And she was on the phone with her high school best friend talking mad shit. I mean, damn. The stuff that my mom said about me, I was going to say that's some shit that I never forget. But nah, I forgot some of it. I don't give a fuck now, honestly. But she really degraded me to this woman. And the friend was like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, stop talking like that about your daughter. And some of the things that my mom did was shit that been done to me all my life. Like, people calling me a hoe or something like that when I'm not. I never been easy. Like, I get with one partner and I stick with those motherfuckers because I don't want to be with a whole bunch of partners. But for some reason, this is something that people, like, when they get mad about me, it's something that they fucking say. Or they project that shit on me. Or they, like, they do that shit to me. They demonize me and all of this other shit. My mom did that. Not only did she did that shit when I was pregnant. It stressed me out so bad that I almost went to the fucking hospital. But after I had my daughter, I changed the way I responded to my mom. Like, she would yell at me, and I started to think it was funny. I just laughed. It got to the point that it really was funny to me. Like, my mom, she don't even do that no more. Because that ain't how you get to me. Cussing me out, calling me out my name, making me feel like I'm less than. I don't have that shit done to me so many times that, you know, I got numb to it. Especially if you're a motherfucker that keep doing that to me. So, and I started to show her, like, more love and compassion and stuff and understanding. And then that's when she started to we started to build a strong connection. But I had to lead the way. And I felt like if I never led the way, to this day, my mom would have still been treating me like that. So, and I can't apply that to everything. I was just able to transmute the energy with my mother. I tried that with other people, but I have noticed that when I started to be like that with my mom, that's how I am in general. So my first response is not to get mad and shit like that. It's to try to understand, because I feel like if I could resolve it, then we could move past it. Because to me, when people are being mean and shady and rude towards me, like, it must be something causing that, like maybe a misunderstanding. Because sometimes when I point shit out, like, nah, you dead ass wrong because of this, then the person will be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a misunderstanding. But no, there's some motherfuckers, they know what they doing. It ain't no fucking misunderstanding. They trying to create misunderstandings in anything. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm working on some ideals and shit because why not? Oh, I guess I never finished the story. So yeah, after like the 5-6 months or whatever, I hit them up, and yeah, at that point he was guarded as fuck, cause it been a long time. Yeah, but you know, it's the fact that he never spoke up. To be real, the way that he expressed himself, the way that he showed himself, he always pretend like shit don't matter to him when that's not the truth. So all that time that he wanted to talk to me, he ain't never come, cause his pride. And I seen this in my mama. That's why I knew I had to be the one, cause a Leo pride is something else, and they feel like it's their superpower, but it's actually their detriment. Like they will burn themselves down, but they don't give a fuck as long as they got their pride intact. So it wasn't until I came back, I started to learn other sides to him. Like I knew that he was mischievous, petty as fuck, petty. That's another reason why. Because sometimes when we would get into disagreements, he would handle shit in a manner of manipulation, instead of just having a conversation and saying how you really feel. And if he wrong, he won't admit that he wrong. He will just try to manipulate you into seeing it the way that he see it. So there was a time I was pulling away because, you know, I'm an introvert. I don't like talking to people like every motherfucking day. Like at some point, I don't got nothing to talk to you about. So then at that point, I just want to be by myself. People don't understand that. Like I need to be alone sometimes in my own world and thoughts. And at that time, he was doing other shit, like posting certain type of pictures and stuff like that to get my attention. So I knew that was, you know, in him and shit, but he took it to a whole nother level after those 5 months. He took that shit to a whole nother level, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, bitch, take that mask off. Yeah, go ahead. The whole time I'm just watching. People think that, like, people would say shit about my Scorpio moons. They would say shit about Scorpio moons in general. But it's not that I'm secretive. It's that I'm just observing. Like, to be real, sometimes the shit that people do is so motherfucking crazy. It's like some shit that I wouldn't even have thought to do, that I have to actually sit down and process it. So during the time of processing it, I trust my feeling on it. That's why I might get quiet and not say nothing. Cause you ever had somebody come up to you and they throw shade, but you're not sure if it was shade or not? Nah, bitch, I'm not finna just respond and be like, okay, yeah. Nah, bitch, I'm gonna be like quiet. I might even look at you a certain type of way or some shit. Cause I'm up here like processing it. I may ask you about it, or I might just sit and watch. Because you know the thing is that people constantly tell on themselves all the fucking time. But it's like motherfuckers don't be realizing that. Like, I went on to Alihio main channel. He If you put up Carbonation TV, it will come up, but it's called 3 something now. I didn't look at none of the videos, but I was just looking at the thumbnails. And he would say, there was one that said being in hell, and then at the bottom it said with Eligio or Nature Boy, whatever the fuck he called himself. Now, when you read it together, it say being in hell with Eligio. And I was just wondering, like, did he know that he did that? Because I don't think that he did. And he probably didn't even create it. He probably had one of his members create it. And they in that mind state. So they just aligned it like that, not thinking that it was going to tie in and read all together like that. They think he was supposed to be explaining what being in hell is like. And then they were just putting with Eligio because he the speaker. But when you read it together, it tell you the truth of the matter. It tell you exactly what energy that you're going into. People can't hide it. They try to, but they can't. So there was times I felt like this Leo dude, he felt like, I don't owe you the truth. I don't have to tell you what the fuck is happening. I don't owe you that. You left me, remember? Motherfucker. And I have extended to him the same love and compassion that I did my mother. And he, like, stabbed that shit. He stabbed me in the back. He bit my hand every motherfucking time he got the chance, bitch. I remember one time meditating. Sometimes when I'm meditating, like, my energy would just go to his. And he was like sitting in this room, and I just seen like this, it was like a dark tornado. I talked about it in one of my readings one time. Like in the intro, not in the actual reading, but I was talking about this story. I ain't said that it was him, but I was saying that I was meditating. My spirit went to somebody. And it's like it was dogs. Like it was like a dark tornado swimming around him. And then as I got closer, like the dark cloud would turn into like a dog and start growling and barking at me. And I wasn't sure exactly what I was looking at, even though I had my ideals and stuff. But there was times that I felt like, you know, he could be projecting this. This could just be his internal feelings manifesting outward him and turning into this dark energy, but it was keeping him down. So I thought that that could be a possibility. But nah, I felt like, and it wasn't just one person who did it. I feel like multiple people tried multiple times to like bound him or something. So, but that last motherfucker though was good. Yo, like that was a real motherfucker. Whoever that fucker was like a real high priestess or some shit, because a devilish high priestess. Cause they was good. Like I could see it, I could sense it, and I could feel it. That's why I be feeling like y'all motherfuckers be sent. It's like it must be something. Like everything that's playing out seems so like galactic. Like people are being possessed by certain beings to be this way. They don't even know why they hate you so much. They just feel the need to destroy your ass. So, I don't know, child. I don't know. But see, the thing is about this Leo motherfucker is that he destructive. Remind me of my mom. Like, if I was to sit here and tell my mom life story, you could see how that destructive ass Leo can be. But they have big hearts. It's one thing that I can count on. The loyalty of a motherfucking Leo. Even though it might not look like it at the time. Even though they might not even realize it. Because one thing I noticed with my mom is that at times with me, I think she felt challenged by me, like I was trying to dominate her or something, because I have that energy. Like, when I stand firm on something, I stand firm on that motherfucker. Like, sometimes when I look back at my parents dealing with me as like a teenager and shit like that, I was like, damn, that must have been a bit hard, you know? It must have been a bit hard. I ain't gonna front. Cause when I was young, I was out and about, man. It was because since a young age, I went through so many traumatic events. For a long time, I was trying to run from them and something, or trying to fill some type of void. So, yeah, I was getting in trouble, skipping school, taking cars and shit like that. Damn, that was a crazy conversation. I didn't even know. Oh, hey. Hold on, what cat is you? You ain't that cat. Oh, you just gonna look at me, but you ain't gonna say nothing? Alright. Oh, you gonna say something when I walk away? Come out in. See? No, I ain't finna sit here. But yeah, I was watching Brand New Cherry Bomb, and I'm like, yo, the shit that they been putting on TV, it just tells me what the awareness is. I'm gonna speak on that once I finish the season. Yeah, man. I guess the feeling I'm feeling now is like, I don't want to hold on to that anger. Sometimes, because, you know, sometimes I wasn't raised with good coping mechanisms. People teaching you how to cope with things or handle things and shit. And I had to learn emotional intelligence on my own. But sometimes I feel like in order to protect myself from somebody, I have to be mad at them in order to build that wall towards them. But I'm trying to handle that differently. Because it really don't do anything, like, besides cause you to be stagnant. What frustrates me about other people is that it's multiple times that I would get into the energy of, I want to progress, I want to fix this, I want to have a resolution, and then I try to deal with other people and they won't allow that to happen. Like, they won't tell the fucking truth. They playing too many fucking games. They petty as fuck. So, and that's be making me feel like, man, I don't want to fuck with nobody. And then I meet people I like. So, and then I be like, oh, okay. I guess I'm still fucking with people then, okay? I guess I'm still fucking with people.